Okay, I had to recharge the camera a little bit, but I was done with that segment anyway. It was like 7 minutes or some shit. Now, I talked about gun-free zones. I talked about gun accidents. I talked about legal ramifications. Some people will encourage you bring your gun anyway, even though it's illegal. And I said I will discourage that because you don't friggin' know if you're gonna get caught and might get charged with a crime or expelled or fired or whatever. Now I'm gonna touch on what I would do. Now about gun accidents, I heard a lot of people say this. Only the police should own guns. Okay, I'm gonna touch on that too because I figure I might as well throw it in. Where I live, I don't know about where you live, but where I live, in my county, in my city, in my jurisdiction, in my state, the police, remember, police are human. The police that I'm aware of, and I can't bash the police because I have friends that are cops, relatives that are cops, my dealer's a cop, his son who's my age is a cop, I'm on a lot of hiring lists for a lot of municipalities. I can't knock cops in general. But a lot of cops are prone to accidents. And where I live, my area, a cop is just as likely to have an accident as anybody else, you or me, and in some cases maybe even more so. Okay, now, my level of expertise, I talked a million times about how I got my license. I don't want to go into specific details about my license, how to get it, this and that, because it gets boring. I also have an armed guards license. There are several security licenses and classes. You have the 8-hour security class. It's 8 hours, you have a 1-hour lunch break and 4 15-minute breaks, and everybody asks 10 questions. But if you go through it, you read the book, you sit down, you concentrate, you go over the lesson, you don't bullshit, it's less than 8 hours. After the 8-hour class, you have a 16-hour class. Once again, if you sit through it and don't bullshit, it's less than 16 hours. Fingerprints are taken, and in addition to that, you have an armed guards license. The armed guards license, you go to the firing range with the instructor, and the instructor watches how you shoot. Now, first and foremost, when you are under pressure, you can't hit anything more than 5 feet away, but the instructor just checks accuracy, but he's mostly interested with firearm safety. Safe pointing, safe unloading, safe loading, okay? And he's more interested in knowing that you know when to shoot and when not to shoot. Don't shoot the guy in the back as he runs away, Tennessee versus Garner. If you're in the bed in the middle of the night and you hear noise, don't go up and shoot the first fucking thing that moves because you'll kill your family member, stuff like that. I gotta turn the computer down again, I turned it up before. Okay. Alright, well, I got my armed guards license now. The guy that did my armed guards license is not a cop. He went to the same high school as me. He graduated in '69, I graduated in 2000. The old campus he graduated from, and in 1980 the old campus moved to the new campus. So the campus was shut down, moved to the new campus, and I graduated the new campus in 2000. The old campus now is now the police headquarters. My friend the clock. And this guy, he graduated my high school, the old campus. Now he is the head custodian of the new campus, which is now the courthouse and police department. So, also, we both got our associate's degrees at the same community college in criminal justice, even though we got our degrees many years apart. As a matter of fact, when he went to the community college for his criminal justice degree, he went there with a man who is now the curriculum chair professor at the college for criminal justice. So, we're a few years apart, but we have a lot in common. Now, this man is not a cop, but he has the degree that I have. He has many licenses and certifications, and I did my armed guard with him. Now, this is how I'm gonna run the show. If I was in charge of if I was in charge of a college campus or a office building, or if I was the guy that had the final say in who carries a gun, who does not carry a gun, in particular on a college campus. This is how I would run the show. That's if I had to say. Everybody has to have one sit-down classroom instruction with a licensed firearms instructor. That instructor could also be a police officer. I've had several lessons from cops. Before I got my pistol license, I got a firing lesson with the police instructor. After I got my license, I got a lesson with the retired instructor. So, and all of my classroom instruction at school by my professors, all those professors were troopers, detectives, so I've had a lot of instruction in classroom theory from field professionals, and I've had a lot of range instruction from field professionals. I would have every person, professor, student, janitor, security guard, I don't give a shit. Every single person would sit down in a classroom at the campus. Because I don't want some kid to say my uncle's a firearms instructor and have his uncle sign off on him but not teach him anything. No. The firearms instructor would come to campus. He would host instruction class, either give him a classroom or an auditorium, depending on how many people there are. So the firearms instructor holds a class lecture on firearm safety, firearm law, when to shoot, when not to shoot, stuff that I already have memorized. In addition to that, there will be a written test on firearm safety. And the passing score will not be 64.5. It will be about 80, like it is up here. And I got an 80 on my test, my pistol license. I got an 88, I'm sorry, I got an 88. Passing score is 80, I got an 88. After all of the class instruction is done, all of the people, students, professors, janitors, security guards, all of the people would go to the range with the instructor and demonstrate basic firearms handling, loading, unloading, safety checking, cleaning to make sure they are competent with the firearm. Now, my armed guard's license, every year I must renew it. Every year I meet the instructor, he watches me shoot, he signs off on me. And now, for these people that I'm talking about, I would say the classroom instruction comes once, the test comes once. But every single year you must requalify. That means if you're a college professor and you're at the college for 27 years, you're carrying a gun on campus, you have to requalify every year, recertify for your shooting. You're a college student, you're old enough to own a firearm, you're going to be there for 4 years, you qualify every year. In addition to that, I would also insist that the students, faculty, whoever is in compliance with the state's firearms laws. Do they have a carry conceal license from the state of whatever state we're in? And I would also run a cursory background investigation on them. I'm going to check my time. Hold on a second. I'm talking. I got 8.5 minutes. Let me stop.